Hey guys, we are back working on the fuel system of the 86. You can see we have our old fuel tank assembly set up. This is the one that, to my knowledge, has been in the car since it rolled off the assembly line floor. This is the genuine Toyota OEM new one that I picked up. We're going to break down the old one just for fun, and then we're going to assemble our new one with our new high-flow Walbro 255 LPH, or liters per hour, fuel pump. Which will help us support our future engine installation of SR20DET, which I know makes a lot of people shriek. So let's start just for fun by breaking this guy down and seeing what it looks like after 20-some years in tank. I'm sure it's going to be pretty much straightforward, but this will be something just fun to do.
Kind of made me curious. Like, it's interesting how the Walbro is half the size of the factory pump, but flows twice as much.
Maybe it doesn't. Maybe it's a conspiracy. I have to remind myself that I hate these fucking clips. Hate them. Hate them so much. Alright, so that's that. Now, this should just kind of pop out with a little bit of force, but I might need to...
Have Mike do it?
No, I'm going to try to break this free first. Might make it a little bit easier.
Floor it?
Floor it? So this is your original Toyota pump, to my knowledge. Has not seen the light of day since the day at the factory. It's pretty worn physically, you know, aesthetically it looks pretty worn. A positive and a negative electrode. There is some writing on the top, but I can't tell if it's in moon speak. It might just be numbers. It might be a part number actually. Like I showed the sock before, it's only got a little bit of dirt on the bottom. Overall, it's in pretty good shape. So if you ever had any questions about these socks staying in good shape, this one's 20 years old to my knowledge. That's pretty good. Physical housing itself is still in pretty good shape. The original rubber pipe that connects the housing to the pump is also in good shape. Mike, why do you think the color of the metal is so different?
Well, that either could be corroded or a zinc coating.
And do you think the zinc coating is important, or do you think they just didn't have it on the replacement part? Do you think this is coated in something different? No idea.
That could be galvanized, I have no idea.
Technology's changed in 20 years. So this was just a fun science experiment. We took this apart just so you could see, you know, the physical size difference between the Walbro and the Toyota pump. Now we're going to get to the meat and potatoes of installing our Walbro onto our new assembly. This has got a filter, another kind of sock. You can see it's a considerably different sock than what came on the original car. This is not empty. There's some kind of strainer or media on the inside that's hollow. The pump on this also has a plug, which the kit comes with a ground and positive lead off of it, and a C-clip or some type of retaining clip on the bottom of the sock to hold it in place. Important is the rubber gasket, which goes on the bottom of the pump, much different than the factory Toyota one. And we're going to install that now, because it just kind of slips over top. The Walbro is kind enough to come with a longer piece of tubing than the factory tubing, because the Walbro extension is a little bit shorter and the pump is a little bit smaller in physical dimension than that of the original. So you're just going to slide this over the top. While you have your pump out, I'd recommend connecting this clip so you don't have to do it when it's in the assembly. Next, grab your assembly with your rubber seat on the bottom of your pump, and you want to spin it around so the sock is...
Wait!
Thank you. You want to drop those on the metal line. Drop your new hose clamps on there, or else you're going to make a big mistake like I almost just did. And then you snap this in place. And when your finished product is going to look something close to this. So what you got to do is you can, with the included, I have somewhere, splicers, cut these lines and then just glue them together or splice them together with quick connects. Or what I'd recommend, and what I'm probably going to end up doing, is soldering this connection in place, because this is supposed to be a hard connection.
You're gonna put that on air?
That horrible sound of your fucking butt. You should be ashamed of yourself. I'm not kidding. That's so fucking foul. I'd be embarrassed. I am embarrassed. I'm part of your show, and that's fucking something I have to put up with. You're an animal.
Okay, so we connected the blue wire to the red wire, so this is the power, and we connected the black to black for the ground. We just use crimp connectors. That's what it comes with. And now it's ready to.
Got first gasket.
Yep, new gasket, and it's ready to go in.
So we're gonna drop that in tank.
Beautiful. It's almost like it was made for it.
Almost. Now the kit I got with this came with new hardware. I'm not exactly a huge fan of it because the previous hardware on the original one were bolt-headed, which down the road could be a huge help if these get aged and rusted and whatnot, and just dealing with straight Phillips hardware. But all things considered, I'm just gonna run this. It's here now, so as you can see, the coating on this tank took really well. Came out really nice. I'm waiting on a couple more parts, just a couple more, like everything else, just a few more parts for this, and we're gonna reinstall our fuel system with all new parts and go from there. So the original sender unit had these two very aged fuel lines. Well enough, you can just go to your local hardware store, Advanced Auto, Napa, whatever you got, and take the old ones with you and ask them to cut you some fuel grade line, not just some vacuum line, and they will cut you some vacuum line in the same length. It'll cost you $3.
Has to be fuel hose.
Has to be fuel hose. If it's not fuel hose, you're gonna have a bad time.
Some guy thought your shoes were loafers.
They are. These are fucking loafers.
Business
loafers?
I thought he meant like slippers or something.
No, they're like business loafers, fan loafers.
Oh, we're golden.
Are we going?
Oh yeah.
Alright. This was the original fuel sender that was in the car for some 20 odd years. Mine worked relatively fine, but I did have gas in the tank for like 5 years, and I don't know if it was still good, and we were going in there to replace the fuel pump and replace the tank, so might as well replace this. I got from the forums this guy that I was told would be the right one, and when I first saw it out of the box, I didn't know it wasn't the right one because we hadn't taken the one you just saw out of the tank yet, so I thought this was the right one, and this is the dangers of listening to forum posts, is someone said, this is the guy you need for your Toyota Corolla, your AE86 USDM equivalent fuel tank. So I bought this guy, and it's obviously not this guy, which is not available. These part numbers are discontinued in the US, so I contacted one of my guys in the Japan area. They got me 83320191715, this part number. So we're going to put our new fuel level sender inside the tank. Now the easy way to do this is just to take the whole assembly sideways, drop in the float, then bend it, and it'll drop right in, as such. Now you might be wondering, it's been a while since I took this out of the tank, how do I know which way is the right way? Well, the screw holes, no matter how you put this in here, will only line up in the correct way. They're not going to line up any other way. So there's only one way this bolt configuration works, and the new one from Toyota included new hardware, so we're going to be using that. Super exciting.